I'm Matt Scalaroon at Pink Banana Media. What I want to talk to you about today is kind of where LGBT media is going as we enter 2018. So always imagine it. Media always starts out kind of at the center. They're here and they see all their social media as ways to drive traffic from here, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, down to their website. And then as they consume and read information, they might run into an advertiser and then go to the advertiser's website. In today's world, influencers are spending all their time up here in social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And when they talk about an advertiser, they're sending their traffic directly from there to the advertiser without having to go down. That's the key. And you're finding LGBT media doing this, LGBT nonprofits, there's a variety of different entities, small businesses, large companies. They're pursuing this strategy, and this is the strategy that I Love Gay is pursuing as well. And this is that process in action. The audience comes down Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, through an LGBT media website, and then over to the advertiser. In today's model, going through social media and direct to the advertiser. This is giving you a better idea of just kind of the landscape of where we're at. Facebook, look at it kind of as it's been a fantastic set of training wheels. It's like a small village. Main Street, USA, maximum people you can be connected to is 5,000. Twitter is like the big city. It's crazy, it's noisy at first, but after a while, for most people, you start to make sense of it, and that's where you get a lot more interactions, engagements, and you're going to find that you're reaching people outside of your personal friends network. Instagram, it's somewhere in between those two. Businesses nowadays, this is where they're at. Facebook is their number one place to do paid targeted ads, and Twitter has now made its way up to number two, with LinkedIn and Instagram number three and number four. So there are three key points of the strategy. One, structure, how you're speaking to your audience. Are you using the at symbol, hashtags, and so forth? And really, basically, at the end of the day, do you speak Twitter and Instagram? Second, it's all about quality versus quantity. It's not about how many people are following you, but it's basically how are you engaged with those followers? Are you following back? And number one, are you engaged with the people that are following you? Are you sharing, liking, retweeting their posts? Because what's going to happen is that they're going to do the same for you. It's what are other organizations and media companies and so forth doing in this space? Here's an example from the New York Times, but you see this from other mainstream media as well. In addition, LGBT media is definitely stepping up, and some of them are also doing hashtags and including their subjects of who they're speaking of in their posts as well. In addition, a variety of the nonprofits, such as GLAAD, HRC, Lambda Legal, and so forth, are very strong in this space. Various pride festivals have become very strong here. And you'll find influencers and pride festivals go hand in hand. And companies and events have really figured out great, fantastic strategies in order to be able to maximize their exposure at festivals as well. And various news organizations are becoming part of the mix. Specialty events, such as DragCon that was recently here in New York, very strong in social media. Destinations, very strong. Destinations such as Virginia, Spain, and also Argentina, very relevant in this space. Large businesses, Bank of America. Here you have theater packages that are being promoted on Broadway in New York. And video. Video that you would traditionally have seen as commercials on television, even if it was something like specialty channels, such as Logo. Now you're seeing them really be broadcast and promoted via this type of technology and merging with and working with influencers. Small businesses, in this case, Grand Resort, but you're finding all ranges of resorts, tour companies, you name it, they are all there. And individuals, especially at pride festivals and various other events. And that's where we come up with where we're at with influencers. Influencers are basically kind of a combination of everything we've seen. They have their own style. Some can be very personal, posting like individuals, and others are posting very much more like a business or a media company. And destinations are a very big part of that. And that is I Love Gay. I Love Gay is a business that speaks and interacts and engages like influencers on primarily on Twitter, but also on other social media, including Tumblr, Google Plus, LinkedIn, and so forth. This is our strength. Kind of gives you an idea of what is a typical campaign expectations, performance, everything can be measured. And Twitter's come up with some incredible tools for us to measure and monitor the performance of our tweets. And when following some of the strategy that we've described so far, you can get incredible numbers such as this with thousands of impressions and hundreds, if not thousands, of likes and comments, retweets, and so forth. There's more examples of that. In addition, hashtags can be measured. This way, you're able to see kind of not only how many you're reaching, but what kind of exposure you're getting. In this case, we're using tweet reach to measure. Now, if you're a writer, utilizing all these tools, structure, the language, speaking the language of Twitter and so forth are very important. But in addition, you're able to utilize tools. In this case, something like Scoop.it, where you can actually post not only on Twitter, but also on LinkedIn, Google+, Tumblr, and so forth, all at the same time. And also, when you're posting and creating your blog or your article, consider embedding a lot of the social media that you found from others or yourself into the articles. Very easy to do. And if you're a photographer, same exact technique, structure of the language, but in this case, always consider using 3 or 4 photos. The collage of photos seems to perform very, very well on Twitter, and 4 is the. You always want to have a call to action, some sort of link for people to be able to click through if they like what they see. When it comes to hashtags, always think of 3. Think regionally, where am I targeting, and what is the hashtag that's most being used there? Also thematically, in this case we're using Pride 2017, but also you might consider hashtags like gay travel or so forth, something that's very prominent in the category you're speaking of. And then the last could be something that's very specific to the event or subject line, in this case, hashtag Palm Springs Pride. And why would we use Pride Month or Pride 2017? Because Twitter's getting really good at putting these little emojis on certain hashtags. And in this case, what you're able to do is when you post this way, just more people will be able to notice and see it. A little trick for photographers, if this, then that. So when you post your photos on Instagram, you're able to simultaneously post them on Twitter without necessarily having it just be that ugly little link. And that's the I Love Gay network. And what we're able to do with advertisers is work with them with their content, whether it's video, photos, blog, article, and really get that out there through Twitter, through Facebook, and so forth. And so it's all about hyper-targeting. And not only are we able to do that through the I Love Gay network on Twitter, but also through paid advertising on Facebook, where we're able to very narrowly drill down to a very specific audience that's perfect for that customer. Also, if you have a commercial, if you have a video, I Love Gay network is a fantastic place for this video to be distributed and viewed. And who's out there in that space? Well, you see companies such as AT&T with their campaign, hashtag We Are Bold. Comcast was very strong this year with hashtag Comcast Faces of Pride. But you're finding a lot of destinations, Virginia, Laguna Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and companies such as Bud Light with their video product, and Bank of America teaming up with Love Has No Labels. You see more and more of these companies out there on this Twitter, social media, Instagram network. And you can become one of our I Love Gay ambassadors or influencers, just simply by also following some of the strategy we've outlined in this presentation. And there's for media partners as well. Media partners who speak the language and utilize the kind of technology and strategy we've outlined so far make fantastic partners for us to be able to work with and help get their word out. So who are we? Well, we've been doing this for almost 23 years, and we stay very focused in the LGBT online community and marketplace. In addition, we maintain very strong relationships with a wide variety of companies, destinations, influencers, and so forth. We also produce our own a conference in partnership with others, LGBT Week in New York. And we work with a variety of different organizations such as GLAAD and others that are very strong in the LGBT advertising and marketing space as well. So that's who we are, that's what we do. And please, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to call or email anytime.